This promise-breaking budget by Mark Carney is the single most expensive for Canadians who will be paying the price in higher food costs, higher home prices, and other increases in their cost of living. So today I'd like to present you with the contrasting vision that the Liberals and the Conservatives have on our economy. Let's start with costs and with the fiscal well-being of our people. So we all agree, everyone agrees, that life is too expensive in Canada today. Housing is the most expensive in the G7, for example. Food prices now are prohibitive to the point where people are at food banks. So the question is, how do we make things more affordable? Well, our approach is to address the core problem, which is the government itself. When government runs massive deficits and prints money to pay for it, the resulting increase in the monetary mass bids up the cost of everything you buy. If you have an economy with, say, 10 apples and $10, it's $1 an apple. If you double the dollars to 20, and you still only have 10 apples, you're not twice as rich. It's just that each apple costs twice as much. The money supply has grown from about $1.8 trillion to $2.6 trillion in the last 5 years. That's a 40% increase in the money supply, during which time the economy grew by roughly 4 or 5%. So when you grow the money supply 10 times faster than the stuff that money buys, prices get bid up and everything costs more. Compounding that is the industrial carbon tax, numerous other hidden taxes, high income tax, and the cost of government is driving up the cost of living. Mr. Carney's solution to that problem is to create a whole bunch of new government programs to redistribute back money that he ultimately took away from families. Well, why not just reverse the damage the government did in the first place? Why not bring down the deficit by cutting bureaucracy, consultants, foreign aid, corporate welfare, handouts to fake and fraudulent asylum claimants, and other the money that the $26 billion that we spend on consultants. We could cut that back to the levels that it was at just 10 years ago, bringing down the cost of government. Why not bring in the dollar for dollar law, a very simple rule that you follow in your businesses and that seniors, single moms, and small businesses all follow, which is that every time you bring in a new dollar of spending, the government and its ministers should be obliged by law to find an equal dollar of savings. That would require politicians go into the line items of the departments to dig out the waste, optimize spending, and achieve value for money. By bringing down the deficits, we would no longer have to print the cash, and we could reduce the burden on the Canadian people that inflation has inflicted. That is the approach that we would